Yo, what's good people? Welcome to the video. Now today, I'm gonna share with you some of my top mistakes that I made throughout my fitness journey. Now, I've been training for about 10 years now, which is a good amount of time compared to most people. But I'm not gonna lie, throughout those 10 years, I've made quite a lot of mistakes that looking back, I do kind of regret. Now, I wanna share with you some of these mistakes that I made so that you can avoid them throughout your journey. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Now, number one is the lack of training frequency. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean by that in terms of training our muscle groups at least twice per week. Now, as a beginner, like myself, at one point, I was doing a typical bro split. So you're training each muscle group once a week. So chest on a Monday, back on a Tuesday, legs on a Wednesday, shoulders Thursday, and you might do a chest and arms on a Friday. You know, that was a typical bro split that we all know of and a lot of us have done. Now, there is another part to this in terms of a bro split will work for beginners, because during the beginning stages of working out, our body doesn't need a lot of volume or frequency in the beginning in order to grow and get stronger, because training is so new to our body. So therefore it's fine to do a bro split. But over the years, the next 3 to 4 years, our progress will slow down and you'll have to make changes to the way that you're training. So for me, after that 3 to 4 year period, I was still doing the typical bro split, and my strength and my size began to stagnate. I wasn't really making much progress. So it really took years for me to realize that, okay, I need to train my muscle group each muscle group at least twice per week. So now I do a push-pull legs upper lower split, so that way I'm still training 5 days a week, but each muscle group is getting hit at least twice per week. So it's very important to, as you progress in your training, to increase the frequency of your training muscles. So make sure you train each muscle group at least twice per week, because again, a typical bro split will only last but so long. So increase the training frequency, guys. So the earlier you can get on those push-pull legs, upper lower split, even full body workouts, the better it is for your progress. Now, number two is the lack of training intensity. Now, throughout my first 3 to 4 years, as I said earlier, any type of training that you do, your body's going to adapt and grow to it, because the stimulus of training is so new to the body, it's so new to your muscles. But again, as I said, in the next 3 to 4 years of your training, your progress will slow down. Now that means you're gonna have to increase the intensity of your workout. So for me at the time, I definitely wasn't training hard enough. I could have pushed myself in each of my workouts and really gave my best in my training sessions. And it came to the point where I was very demotivated. In my training, I was kind of just going through the motions, and my strength and my muscle mass just stagnated for many, many months, even years. So as I started to do more calisthenics, I realized that intensity is very important in your training if you want to get stronger and get bigger. And after I started to focus more on my intensity, increasing the weight, increasing the amount of reps I'm doing, my progress just went through the roof. Everything just became a lot more better in my training. I started to feel better, I started to make more progress, and I started to be happy. I started to become a lot more happy with the way things were going. I was more motivated again. I was more disciplined. So, you have to make sure you're very intense in your training and you're training with a purpose. Now, number three is I wasn't setting any goals. Now, the reason why I started to train is I just wanted to get bigger and stronger, but it wasn't very specific. I didn't have specific goals. What did I want to get strong at? Is it a specific lift? How much muscle do I want to build? I didn't really know. Did I want to get stronger in the deadlift or the bench press or all of them? I wasn't setting specific numbers that I wanted to hit. Now, when it came to calisthenics now, because it was so new to me, I had to set goals in order to, see more improvement. I had to register what numbers I wanted to hit in my pull-up range, in my pull-ups, in terms of like weighted pull-ups, weighted dips. I really had to set those numbers out, and that way it helped me develop a plan and a plan of action to help me achieve those goals. So earlier in my lifting journey, I wasn't setting those goals properly. It wasn't specific. So again, my training was just, again, as I said, going through the motions. I was up and down in my training. There was days where I'd go in, I'll train, and I just couldn't wait to leave. I couldn't wait to go home again, because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was training towards. So setting goals is very important. Now, last but not least, I wasn't tracking my diet. and specifically, I wasn't eating enough. Now, as I said before, your first 3 to 4 years of training, you're gonna grow, you're gonna get stronger, no matter what. But again, after that period, it's gonna start to slow down. And now, along with the lack of intensity and the lack of training frequency that I said before, I also wasn't eating enough. Now, I wasn't tracking my calories for the first like 5 to 6 years of my training. Now, during the lockdown is when I started to do more research in terms of my diet and tracking your calories and making sure that you're eating. So I started to use MyFitnessPal. So when I first used it for the first day, I said, you know what, let me actually track my meals and see how much I'm actually eating. And after I finished to track all my meals throughout the day, I realized that I was under eating. I was like, what the fuck? I've been doing it wrong the whole time. This whole time I was under eating. So I was like, shit, I need to make a change. So now, once I started to track all my meals frequently, I started to eat more food. And once that started to happen, again, my progress went through the roof. I started to get stronger, I started to get bigger, I was feeling better about my training. And yeah, tracking your meals is very, very important. You know, even if you don't like to track your meals, there's loads of guys out there that don't want to track their meals. That's fine. What I'll suggest you do is track your meals for the first week or two. So at least that way you get a rough estimation about how much food you're actually consuming. And then afterwards, you can either eat less or eat more. But as long as you know what you need to eat and how much you need to eat, you'll be fine. You'll see progress. So again, tracking what you're doing, track your workouts, track your diet is very important. Make sure you eat enough. Like for me, I'm one of those skinny guys. You know, I've had the skinny guy genetics, you know, a typical ectomorph, they like to call it. So for me, I had no problem staying lean, but I always had problems gaining muscle and gaining weight. So eating more is very important. A slight calorie surplus is fine for most people. For most skinny guys out there, that's all you need. So there you have it. That's some of the biggest mistakes that I made throughout my fitness journey in the last 10 years. So I hope you guys take this into account and apply it to your fitness journey. So that way you can see continued growth in your strength and your size, your muscle gains. So again, throughout your fitness journey, you're gonna make mistakes. It's life. We're all humans. So don't be afraid to make mistakes as well and learn from them. You know, for me, I did look back with regret before, but now I just see it as that it's a part of the journey. It's a part of life. It's a part of our fitness journey to getting bigger and stronger and healthier. So again, don't be afraid to make mistakes, but try and avoid the big ones. So again, I hope you liked the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, support the channel. See you guys in the next one. I'm out.